This is David Liniato here at iZigg corporate headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome everyone to the 8th edition of Mobile Social Delivered. I couldn't be more excited to have everyone joining us today throughout the country to hear a really special guest. We're really honored today to have, somebody who's got probably more experience than anyone we've had on this phone in the quick serve restaurant space, having been a part of the McDonald's franchise and now expanding one of the hottest franchises in America right now, Smashburger, here in Atlanta, Georgia. So we will get to that shortly and introduce everyone to our guest, Phil Wilkins, who is just done a phenomenal job, and I can't wait to get to that part of our webinar. Before we jump in, I'll just kind of give you guys what we're going to cover today and talk about the power of mobile. Really exploding. I mean, it's really on the top of everybody's mind these days. Talk about this concept of raving mobile fans, and how we came up with that topic was really from Phil and talking to him prior to this webinar, just about how his customers really are fanatical about Smashburger, given the quality of the product, and how getting them to join his mobile program really has been a big part of his marketing strategy. And jump right into a live Q&A. And then just talk about mobile VIP clubs. And I really think that as we've seen here at iZigg, and we're seeing literally through thousands and thousands of different businesses that are jumping on board this concept of creating a mobile VIP program, they go right along with their social strategy of Facebook, Twitter, and their mobile. And we'll talk a lot about that as we hear from Phil live about how he's executing and using this platform. So it's been a very, very exciting week. We always talk about current events, and with the announcement and release yesterday of the iPad 3, or as they're calling it, the new iPad, I mean, it's not just mobile phones, it's everything is mobile. We live in a mobile world. It's just unbelievable what Apple has been able to do over the last couple of years. And, the power of mobile isn't just for games and apps and everything else. It's really a platform for any business organization to jump aboard. And, what we've done here at iZigg is really create a turnkey platform where any business can jump aboard and literally very quickly execute a program, move people to action, get adoption rates, and get a return on investment. And I think that's key in any business and any sector. And really the platform, as we've talked week after week, isn't just addressing one vertical market. It's addressing all of them. And I don't care what type of business you're in. And as we've heard on this show, we've heard from Andretti Racing, we've heard from financial companies, we've heard from retailers, we've heard from restaurants, and really it's cutting across all markets the power of mobile and just how it's literally changing the way businesses are marketing. And it's because 97% of all text messages are open. I mean, there's really no other channel that's ever existed that can get that type of return rate in terms of getting eyes in a world that is just so cluttered and so busy with everything going on. And you see here a recent offer from Smashburger that we'll have Phil talk to everyone about, from the the anniversary of the Oreo cookie, which I thought was very, very cool. Last week's a couple weeks ago from Data Vision and from Chris Jordan at Wireless Zone. And the key is they're not only they're opened as well. I mean, it's just a channel that everybody's looking at. When your phone bongs, you're looking down at it. We heard last week from a city chamber about how their organization is using it, and it's so exciting. So I'm excited to introduce you guys to our host, guest of this call, Phil Wilkins. He really is an unbelievable entrepreneur, and this business really is, iZigg itself is all about giving people not a job, but giving people, a business and putting them in place to be entrepreneurs. And I think, not only we'll hear about how Phil is addressing mobile and using the platform, but certainly his views on entrepreneurship and, how he got involved in iZigg. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Phil Wilkins to the call. Phil, it's a great pleasure to have you joining us today.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, maybe you could just jump in, Phil, and give the folks on the call maybe a 60-second on your background and just kind of views in general on mobile, as it addresses this category.
Sure. I've been in the quick service restaurant business now for about 15 years, I guess, all total. I was a McDonald's owner for 13 years, and prior to that was in medical sales for 9. Sold our McDonald's restaurants in 2010 and began the path on Smashburger. And starting last July, we opened our first Smashburger in Atlanta in the Buckhead area, and we opened 5 restaurants in 6 months. So we were really busy during that time period. But while on vacation over the summer, right around June or so of last year, a gentleman by the name of Tony Argue came up to me while I was sitting at the pool, at our condo, and just said, "Hey, I understand you're, with Smashburger, and I might have something that might really work for you." And he said it's a text program, and he said, let me give me your phone and let me kind of show you how it works. And as soon as he did it, I was like, okay, I want that. It's something that I have to have. And I just was just taken with it right away because of the ability to just be very dynamic, the ability to be instantaneous, the ability to reward people for opting in, and also you're not spamming, so you give them the opportunity to opt out at any time. And I just saw it as a great way of building a very dedicated following for our business. And so to your point, it's been part of our social media, if you will, platform, but really just a part of the way we do business. It's going to be a part of our fabric as to how we do business in the future.
That's awesome. That's great, Phil. It's such a cool story on how you found out about the service. And we do have a different model on how we go to market. People don't find us through Google. They find us through people talking to people. And so that's great how you found out about it. One of the things just leading up to this call that I thought was cool that you said is, our biggest fans sign up. And, kind of the theme of this is Raving Mobile Fans. And it's taking those people that love the concept and love your place and rewarding them. So maybe just share how you guys think about this mobile fan club and this concept of, having your most, your biggest fans sign up and get rewarded.
Yeah, I mean, we try to really promote it to all of our customers. I mean, I've hired a marketing manager, and one of her key responsibilities is to spend time in our restaurants talking to our customers, basically taking people's phones from them and saying, "Hey, let me hook you up on something, really, really cool. And do you know how to text and those kinds of things? And would you mind if I do this? A normal text rates would apply, but the deal is just a great thing." And so her role is really to help us, find people to sign up, members to our text club, and we promote it in store and that kind of stuff. So it's really awesome. But what I really love about the person that gives you their phone and says, "It's okay for you to text me," that person trusts you. And right now we have over 3,000 members in just a short period of time, and that's 4 times faster than our Twitter following. So people are just opting in, as fast as they see it. Their friends get an offer and say, "Hey, you know what? You need to join." And so it really does grow. And I can literally, kind of watch it day by day. We send out an offer, then the next day we'll see an incremental jump as far as members and people who are opting in. And so that's just a very powerful, group of followers. And I told Dave this story. Smashburger is kind of a unique brand where when we open a restaurant, we do a lot of social media things. We'll invite bloggers into our stores, and we'll have people come in and, experience the food, and, they'll send out, messages to their followers and those kinds of things. So on a couple of our grand openings, I said, "You know what, I'm going to reserve some spaces for our key members of our text club." And the first time I did it, I said, we're only going to reward like 5 people, because we didn't have a whole lot of people, and I didn't know, what the response would be. And I said, we'll do, maybe 5 people can bring, 2 or 3 people each, so maybe 15 or 20 people from our text club and 20 people from Twitter. So I sent out a tweet and said, "Hey, if you retweet this message," try to say that 10 times, "if you retweet this message, we'll buy you and your friend, 4 of your friends, dinner for the night, and you'll have access to our VIP party. And I got one response. So I called our PR firm and I said, okay, we're going to do this on our text line. And I said, here's how you do it. Send it out and call me back, when we get our responses. Well, I go to brush my teeth, my phone's ringing. And I mean, it was instant. She's like, hey, we're already at 5, how many more would you like to take? And so we ended up taking 10. Well, now every time I have a VIP, party, if we open up a new restaurant, the Tex Club members are getting a bigger and bigger piece of that pie because it's so, valuable to us, and they really like us, and they follow us, and they come to us on a regular basis. So I really appreciate these folks that have opted in, and so I want to reward them when we have, grand store, new store openings. We're going to open probably 30 stores over the next, 5 or 6 years. So they're going to have a few opportunities to eat on us.
That is awesome. That's a great story. I mean, it just shows. I mean, not only do you have close to 4 times more subscribers than Twitter, and again, this isn't about Twitter's not a good platform. They're all good, Facebook, Twitter, but the effectiveness of not only growing your opt-in list, your permission-based list through iZigg 90210, but the actual results of a campaign. So that's awesome. So I'm showing here on my screen, just for the folks who are watching on their computers, some of the marketing collateral. So maybe talking, what I love about what you guys have done, and I actually took my family to Smashburger here in Sandy Springs this past weekend on a Saturday night. It was a great experience. Ironically, the manager of the store actually asked me if I was a member of the Tex Club, which was pretty funny, and got to know him, and he was. They did a phenomenal job, by the way. The product was great. It was fun. The kids had a great time. But what obviously blew us away is just how you've really made the Tex Club the centerpiece of your marketing. So maybe talk about how you've integrated it into all your marketing collateral. It was on every table, and just talk about some of the marketing strategies behind that. You got a billboard with it on there. So maybe share with the folks some of the strategies you guys used around marketing the program.
Yeah, we've really, like I said, I mean, it's going to be an integral part of the fabric as to how we do business. So if we run a radio ad, one of the things that I've learned is, in the past, you run an ad and you've lost them forever. I mean, you hope you call them to action. They come into their store, they come into your store, and might take advantage of the discount or whatever. Well, with this program, now I can not only possibly run an ad, but I them again and again and again. So now my effective cost of advertising has dropped tremendously because I'm still hitting that customer. And after the program has ended, we were talking to a college sports team here today, college sports, university here in the city, and they're now implementing a Tex program. So I'm like, hey, look, if we become a corporate partner with you, I want them to opt into my program, so that I can still communicate with these guests of your sporting venues even after the games are done. So anything that I do, any kind of collateral that I put out there that I can control, I'm trying to make sure that our text number is on there, because those customers, when you think about, the big package, the platinum package with iZigg, costing $2,500, and if I spread that out over 5, stores, that's $500 a store. Well, that's not a lot, for an advertising, thing. And then if I can hit you, once or twice, a month, 3 times a month, and you're coming in, I mean, I'm getting a return on that, it's pretty significantly. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Don't think about raising the price. I really like, I like where it is. But it's very effective. Very effective. And then when you think about those big packages like that, let's say if we go to University of Georgia and they have like a Tex program or something like that, and I say, hey, I want to do something with University of Georgia and Smash, and I want somebody to come up with a plan, and we're going to do something at that school, let's say if that was an example, I could have that reserved as a channel, and so that just helps me as a business owner, as a marketer. The number of channels that the brand has is obviously something that's very attractive, and so ultimately it just helps me my cost that much more.
That's awesome, Phil. We really, really appreciate it. I mean, as you share with everyone, we've got here at iZigg retail plans and, our agent partners. And, Phil, it's great how you're sharing this with other businesses. And, I really, really want to thank you for joining us on today's call. And, it's just exciting for us here at iZigg to see people using the platform and using the power of it. And, we see that it's only getting stronger. There was a VC conference out on the West Coast today, and I heard this on CNBC, where they said that really the biggest business opportunity out there, I mean, again, this is outside of Smashburger, of course, is mobile. And, everything has just gone mobile, and there's really no end in sight. So, I'm just going to show the folks on the call today, we've got we talk about benefits of the program, and really one of the big benefits of it is this mobile fan club, and we've talked a lot about that. It's super simple to set up. You just set up your keyword, which you've got, Smashburger ATL, which is great. And you've got a link in there to your menu, which I'm showing the folks. The pictures of your products are fantastic. And, with everybody having smartphones, they can just click on that tiny URL. They can go to your menu. They can see their locations. And, it's really phenomenal. So, Phil, I want to thank you again for joining us today. It's been an unbelievable mobile social delivery show. And it's, like I said, it's so easy to set this all up. You just personalize it. You promote it. You hit play. You send your messages out. And, what's great about this, as we heard, from you learning about this poolside, that it's so easy to share. I mean, you can literally just tell everyone, and whether you're doing it to generate interest and repeat customers for your business, or you're sharing it as an iZigg agent partner, it's so easy to demo the product. You don't need, I call it a flip-flop business. You could do this in your flip-flops, and ironically, that's how Phil heard about the program, probably wearing flip-flops poolside. So, it's great.
I think he had a beer in his hand, too.
He had a beer in his hand. I'm not quite sure what could be better. I got a big smile on my face, a business that you can be walking poolside with a beer in your hand, and you can sign up one of the fastest-growing quick-serve franchises in the U.S. That is phenomenal. And so whether people want to use the product or opportunity, or as Phil's doing both, it's great, and we can move people to action very quickly. And, this business is all about a partnership. That's what iZigg is all about. It's with the phenomenal entrepreneurs like Phil throughout the United States that have joined us and soon beyond. So, with that, we'll close out today's Mobile Social Delivered. I really, really appreciate everyone for joining us. Again, we've got an upcoming event, Crush It XL, March 23rd to the 25th, just a mere 2 weeks from this weekend. I can't wait to see everyone. We've got the Gaylord Texan Hotel and Convention Center. It's just a beautiful place. It's a life-changing event to really dive into more of these stories about how businesses throughout America are leveraging the power of mobile and the sea change in marketing and connecting with customers. So again, thank you so much, Phil, from Smashburger, for joining us today. Thanks for all that you've done on the platform. And again, thanks everybody for joining us. Again, this is Dave Loniato from iZigg here in Atlanta, Georgia. That concludes today's Mobile Social Delivered. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.